Good morning. It's 7:50 here on the West Coast, and that storm has moved on out into the desert and up into San Francisco. I can see it rotating out there. Yeah, another rotating out there in San Francisco, eh? Oh my gosh, just another mm, joke. Yep. Yep. Well, anyway. Um, how is everybody? How was your weekend? How was your weekend? Uh, Mine was long. I don't think I got. I think last night, um, about 6 hours sleep. The night before, maybe four. The night before that, maybe five. So, uh, tough weekend for me. Um, Not that I'm complaining. It's just it is what it is. You tired? You tired? Um, and the cat woke me up at I don't know 7:30 this morning. Is he was late. My cat is my alarm clock, by the way. He says, "Daddy, wake up, feed me." Hmm. But you know how it is. You know how it is. Did anybody get any damage over the weekend um, from the hurricane? To me, it was a nothing burger. Yeah. To me, it was a nothing burger, but we got a little bit of rain. I think we probably got three-quarters of an inch, maybe. I'm 10 miles from the beach, and there's other places that got pretty hit, pretty good, but not me. No, no, no. Here, let me show you where about this storm is today. I mean, it's way north. All right. Hey, it might be putting some of them fires out in Canada, but not in the BC though. And I bet you it's pushing a lot of smoke out to New York City and all that. Here, let's check it out. Mm-hmm. Check her out here. Ding, 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 ding. There you go. Here's the center of that storm, or another one. I don't know. Um, but it went up the coast and it just stuck right there. It'd be weird if it turned around and came back down, but you can see all that mess, right? The jet stream going up to the top. Crazy, right? Yeah. And we still have some rotation starting here in the Gulf of Mexico. There was thoughts it was over here, over Florida, and if it got into this, it might generate something. I don't know what um, the Hurricane Center's calling it, but you can see ain't nothing here on the West Coast, on the bottom anyway. They're kind of weird how they decide to choose things. Here's number 9 out there, 30 miles an hour spinning. Yeah, it has a potential tropical storm. Yeah. Ooh, coffee good in the morning, baby. Franklin, Gert, Emily, and then another one, 40. And I know as soon as I said it would create, so I had to. Um, all of these came all at once, as you can see. Ninth storm out here. This will probably be the 10th. And yeah, the Verde Islands out there. Yeah, 40% chance. Uh, they don't even get a percentage on this one. It's like, hey, potential tropical cyclone storm 9. You know, tropical storm Gert right here in the middle. Let's see, what does it have? The pressure is 1,006 millibars, but the maximum sustained is 40 miles an hour. Let's see. Emily is now a remnant low, 35 miles an hour, Emily. All right. And old Franklin there uh, is dropped below 1,000 millibars, and it's at 50 miles an hour. Franklin right here. Franklin. What is that? Franklin. Anyway, movies. moving things around. Potential tropical cyclone, 30 miles an hour there in the Gulf. Portions of Texas are saying, hey, guys, watch out, man. And eastern North Pacific, a threat of flooding and gusty winds continue as Hillary today is into the interior western U.S. 35 miles an hour now as it rides up the coast. Yeah, that's where they say it is. But there's a big low pressure right out here too. I think that low pressure is what kept it from hitting us pretty bad. That and the dry weather. But hey, lots going on in the east. And look, check them out. Ding, 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 ding. Well, Franklin seems to be the most. Look, and then Gert here, right? Oh, Gertie. Let's see here. Regional, and you can see Gertie down there in Franklin. Check that out, Hey, check it out. Here we go. All right, here's the one storm. Here's another, and here's another, and this one's dying out. And then in the Gulf, we got this mess. This is a severe little booger here. It's got 50-mile-an-hour winds, but who knows where that one's going to go. And the power of the one we just had is pushing all the way down here already. Yeah. Look at this mess in the Atlantic. Can you figure that stuff out? I mean, things are all over the place. It's like it's got a hangover or something. Yeah, I mean, we got low pressure right here, low pressure here, right here. Right there. Some stuff heading up that way, and this is pinching one off over here. And then over here in the Pacific, looks like we got some more trouble. Let me see here. Let's look up in the west here. All right. Got a way down here. Got another one right there. And I don't know why they don't have a number on that one. Whereas these ones are blowing up over here. Look at the big high pressure out here. Boy, I can say it's going to get summertime soon. Yeah, just a little bit of something right there. But where's all that heat going to go? Well, I think we just had California just had its rain. Hey, I don't know. What do you think? Yes, Temescal Valley, Corona area, inland from Joe. Yeah. Did you feel the earthquake? Received an alert. I didn't even receive alert. Is that weird? On the little 5, and did they downgrade that thing? It was a 5.1. Yeah. Did they downgrade it? No, it's still 5.1. Right on. All right. Well, there you have it. All right. We looked at the tensor ball. We decided it wasn't a strike slip. It was an oblique reverse something or other. Yeah. I didn't figure that stuff out. Here, maybe they said something down here. Oh, Cat, where's Cat? She knows where they find this stuff when they do the analyzing it. Yeah, they got all three of them the same. Right. My niece was 30 miles away. She said it was just a quick jerk. You don't include a category flutter. Oh, you received the 4.0 shocks? And we were swarming big time yesterday. Terrain, close this. Look at all the swarm. I mean, gee. 108? 108? That's just today, right? Yeah. So if I went to 7 days. The yellow ones are from another day, of course. That'd be 127. So 108 aftershocks plus one in the main shock. Right? They had a 4 out here, and they took it away. They had another 3 something up here, and it was leading toward the Garlock, and all of a sudden it doesn't exist. Meaning, that's weird. You know. Did it get called wrong? Well, I don't know. This is the 7 days. Here's the single day here. Same time, LA had a little tiny bumper, 1.5, and then out here in Fontana had the 1.1. The San Gabriel Mountains leads into these Santa Clarita Mountains, or Santa Inez Mountains, the Topa Mountains, yeah, in Santa Susana right here. The Simi Valley earthquake of 71, San Fernando earthquake, that was a 6, I don't know, I want to say 6.4 or something, and that did immense damage. And then of course, you have the what was that one? Northridge quake that happened in the same area. It did immense damage. So there's something about that San Fernando Valley. Oh, you can't hear anything? I got it on full blast, baby girl. You can't hear nothing. I'm not. Or here, let me try to work it out. Okay, hold on a second. Dun, 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 dun. All right. You say you can't hear me. Can't hear you, son. All right. Hold on a second. Well, compressor, everything's, yeah. Makeup gain. I mean, hey. I don't know what's up. If I kick this up, it's as loud as I can get it. Yeah, I mean, it's full blast. Okay. Do you have you're on your iPad? Okay. You check your speaker levels on your iPad? Yeah, I've turned it up like maximum, so you're gonna hear the fan a blowing, and in fact cut loose. I'm usually one of the quietest. Well, hey Milkman, thank you, bud. I don't know. Right? I don't have a. Well, ask my family. You talk too damn much. Yeah. You know, I say about 30,000 words a day. Most men only talk about 12,000 words, but I do talk a hell of a lot more. Everybody else is hearing me fine, so I have to. I mean, I turned it up. This is like, I can't stand it this loud. And I'll turn my headset down, but I'm leaving the mic up. Let's see. Probably Yeah. It probably has to do with your iPad, I would assume. I don't know. I don't know, hon. You like to hear the fan, the co-star? Yeah. Well, speaking of co-stars, uh, on occasion I'll be bringing in the Walleye King in the mornings and the evenings. Yes, they're going to be evening reports. Probably when things happen, they're not like the morning report is pretty much going to be here. There will be some changes happening to JSL. You're not going to really notice them though. There'll be a lot more content on the one channel, the second channel. If you haven't signed up, please sign up to those over there on YouTube. And there is a channel specific for the morning report and evening report, and which is let me see if I can just find it for you. All right, bing, ding, 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 ding. My channel, right? So this is my channel here, and this is the Joe Sig Live. This will be the main channel, the content channel. But all this, yeah, I have the morning reports here as well. All the morning reports will be put on the other channel. And I'll view all the channels. I don't know what happened. Well, I guess it's not there. I'll have to find it. Anyway, I think Walleye King, you have a link to it. I'm still learning how it works. We have 77 subscribers here on the main channel, and that's, it is what it is. The changes will be that if you haven't seen any of these, make sure when you put on now I have to watch what I say just because it's somebody else's platform, and the 1000 shows on there and a couple of the other ones, and then they're is it the end of the world? Let's see, how did that play? I don't think it played out very well, but everybody was saying that this storm's the end of the freaking world. I'm like, really? Are you kidding me? I didn't think so. Yeah, 33 people watched it. I can't believe that. Yeah. Is it the end of the world? What's next? And that's the report from last night. When the earthquake happened, and bam, But somehow I have to find that other link. A link to what? But to the other, the other content channel. I've got it saved here, but I just don't know where I saved it. Let me see here. Where did I save it? Yeah, changing things in this world. We'll be on. We'll be more on the other channels as well, which is Truth and Locals and Rumble and Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, and there'll be more of those in the mornings and the evenings, and we'll just keep hammering it away. Yeah, I don't know what happened to it. And if you haven't seen the website that we have, it's right here too. It's real basic, and we'll be putting more content on that as well. As you can see, talk about the rabbit holes, take the journey, blah, blah, blah. And a little bit about us. Drop us a line. Here's the morning report from April. These are, because we do a podcast every morning. And we're going to be on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, and Facebook, as well as there will be other content on locals and Rumble and the like. Some of the stuff that we can delve into that is a little bit of risque and different than the morning report here and the like. I'm working on I don't know, it's like a self commercial, an infomercial about JSL and what we're doing here. The new year's coming, and there'll be a lot of changes. Like I said, some of them you won't even notice, but you'll be made aware of them, and it'll be okay. You'll see, and there'll be a lot of content on the main YouTube channel. 20-minute windows into your soul. No, I'm just kidding. 20-minute or 30-minute videos on a subject matter, drilled down into good teaching material, or good news articles brought up to give you a little more details in what's going on. And the rabbit holes and wackadoodle Wednesdays, those things will be changing a little bit, and they're not going to be here on JSL. They'll be elsewhere. But you'll have the links. You'll have the opportunity to participate in all of those. And many of them will be live. And yet they'll be, after the video's done and edited, then they'll be available for you here on Twitch. And Twitch is changing their things too. They're being a lot more, a lot more stringent with some of the things that are going on. So we've had it pretty nice here on it. And the AZ trip was postponed till Friday because of the hey Snarly, thank you, bud. Due to the storm, they closed down the 10 freeway, and going the other way, which is up the 15 over to the 60, the 40. That one's like in no man's land, and my lady didn't want to risk going through no man's land. And on top of that, we do have a letter. Most of you have known that my lady and I are helping our nephew who's indisposed with the state, and his mother died, my sister-in-law, and my wife is now the executor of the estate, so appointed by the state and the county. So we've got to take care of that. There's not a whole lot. We just have a person who's staying there in the house thinking that she can live there for free forever. And, she's got a rude awakening coming. When the sheriff comes a knocking, your knees will start to knock too. So, we have to do something before they get squatters' rights. And they've only been there a year. 2 years they get squatters' rights, so we'll be handling that on top of moving and relocating here to AZ again, where I was originally. and there'll be some content that comes out of there. It's rich with great stuff. Wow, not like here. I'm in the middle of the damn city. I'll be like an hour from Grand Canyon or an hour and a half from Grand Canyon and some of the other stuff. There's a lot of volcanic stuff up there in that desert, and we'll be taking videos and doing stuff like that, and doing some geology work up in there. That'll be a lot of fun. A lot of great content will happen here next year, and when the studio's up, which I've still got to post, and I hate to do it, but I'm saving my little change every little bit that I get here from JSL to be able to build that studio. I think the winter I'll make it through, and I'll have the walls up, and the thing I won't have is the expensive AC in there, and I'll be needing it to make that studio go. So you'll all know about that. Hopefully I'll be monetized by then here sometime next year to be able to purchase that in I think it's like $1,200-$1,300, but I'll be saving my coins to do that, and we'll see what happens. The studio, if I do it right, it's not real cheap, but we'll have our own little space, and we'll have a green wall and that, and we'll have cameras and all that. You'll see my ugly mug, change up what's going on here, and putting some content together to do a lot of stuff. So that's what's happening in the new year. Hopefully you can't stay stagnant, or else the channel will die. Every year I do something new, and I've got a full plate, and they're building the house, and everything that we have is into that house, and everything of my wife's inheritance is in that house. So it's like scary, and our bills jump from one mark until a huge mark. We had to double our bills, and so I got to make some money. So I might have to do some work as well as the JSL thing here, to help augment what's going on, because again, it's another $1,200-$1,300 a month for that house. But it is what it is. Real life is real life, baby, and you got to go out there and hustle, and that's what I'll be doing. And what's the future of JSL is as we look at this world. Yeah, this place has just gotten too small for us, and my mother-in-law is starting to lose her brain, and she'll be living with us eventually, and that's why we got the extra room, and I'll be in the bedroom until I build a studio, and hopefully I can build a studio soon, and that'll take whatever it takes. I think the initial phase without the flooring will be done relatively right away, but to get the heat pump and put in that room, it's an inexpensive one, Mr. Cool, it's 1200 BTUs, and it'll do fine. Be quiet, it'll keep the air clean and temperature to where it should be, not too cold, not too hot, and where we can do our thing, and create a ton of content for you. Wackadoodle Wednesdays will be a little more open to different kind of stuff, except for freaking aliens, because that's the CIA doing that stuff. Come on. Um, it's got to be geared toward truth, and there's no aliens out there. If you believe in aliens, it's just how much you've been drinking the Kool-Aid. And the idea, the argument to say, well, it's pretty arrogant not to think. No, it's arrogant to you think that they walk on 2 feet and they have 2 eyes, 2 ears, and 2 nose, or a nose with 2 nostrils, 2 arms, and 2 legs. That's right. And they want to bite you and they want to eat you like you're worthy of eating. Yeah. Yeah. And Kool-Aid is free. Um, yeah, it's not aliens. It's testing new aircraft. Did you know the CIA and the U.S. Air Force and the UK and the you know, down under all worked in cahoots to fly these planes and stuff, and we've been flying them for forever, from one side of the pond to the other, and then on down in there. And uh, also, we'll debunk some conspiracies. There might be a time where that's what we kind of focus on, like HARP, which will be a big one. Yeah, I know most of y'all think that HARP is real and they're controlling the weather with HARP and the like. Yeah. As we get that 4 that's coming through. Uh, who? Oh, you're talking about cackling Kamala? Um, yeah. Oh, Dub, you didn't know. I'm sorry, bud. Yeah, I'm in the Kingman area. The aliens laugh like her. Yeah. Uh, the U.S. government is pushing the aliens thing. You have to know that that's a red flag. It should alarm you. What do you think the human body does when it gets in the atmosphere and it goes way up there? Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And when the balloons pop, what do you think happens? They kind of fall to the ground, right? Yeah. And you think we're shooting lasers at other ones? Yeah, and you think we're digging holes under the ground, and that Ridgecrest is a base, and that the red hats, blue hats, green hats, purple hats, black hats, white hats are all fighting underground? Yeah. You believe all that shit? Is it because you want to believe it, or is it because you can't explain what's happening naturally? You see, there's so much information out there that it's most of it's bogus, and yet it's pushed as though it's real. And so channel after channel comes out. Oh, they're controlling the weather. Yeah, all right. Oh, they did this, and they're lost. All right. Prove it. Prove it. Well, they got these giant buildings and they're creating weather. Okay. Are they creating weather over the whole earth, or just around that building? Or and how do they generate the weather from one spot onto another spot? Do they bounce it off the ceiling? Wait, there's a ceiling? Yeah, for flat earthers, there's a ceiling. Like we watched this video over the weekend. Yeah, you get to the end of the road, and what happens? Yeah, the simulation doesn't have anything created. So there's nothingness. What happens when you get to the nothingness? Yeah, the aliens unplug you, turn you around and plug you back in so you don't even know it. They do it so fast. Oh, well, I was going that way and now I'm going that way? Yeah, you went into a wormhole or something. All these things we'll be discussing, and we'll be, having fun with it and not getting too serious. Don't get butthurt. It's one of the rules here. You don't get butthurt. Yeah. Flutter Girl said she believes it. You know what? Let me show you something. And it hit me like a ton of bricks here, right? And I'm gonna. There we go. There we go. Look at this. And this might help you. Do you see it? I don't have to say it. Belief is not they're not co-equal. Just so you know, they're not equal. One takes a substance of things expected, because the evidence that's been presented. But belief isn't there. You can believe in a lie. Why? Because there's no evidence. It's a mirror. This is faith. That's faith. It's different. Most people think faith is belief. It's not. You can believe a lie. How can you believe a lie? Well, there's some evidence. No. There's a mirror. There's a prism. These things bend the light. Mirror reflects the light. And in that reflection, it can say different things. It's not straight. It's crooked. That's why lies out there you believe. There's a difference. So they take a little piece of information, twist it, and you believe it. And then you plan your life or base your life on that. That's not faith. Faith is different. I'm not trying to go religion on you, just set that aside. There is a difference between belief and faith. They're not synonymous. Oh, I always see the same. That's because you don't know the definition. You don't understand the definitions. And we'll set that aside. All right, back to what's going on here. That's why I challenge things all the time. Do I believe all this is make-believe? Yeah, Wally. You may not, bud. Yeah, see, Wally has some... I don't think Wally's too far off on what he's saying. And I'm not saying he's far off at all. But what Wally's saying is he's trying to articulate some very far out stuff, very high level stuff, and it's his perception that he's telling us. It's his perception. And to discover what he means is we have to get on the same terminology. We have to get on the same level. And that's why I love talking with Wally. I love it. Why? Because he causes me to think. He's opening a door to something else that is explaining some things. And the way he articulates those things through his drawings here, as I do drawings too, and they're not co-equal, they're not wrong. It just in his in communicating what he thinks, that's what he's doing. And that's why I love talking with Wall, because he's seeing something that is, it's foreign to me. It's like learning Chinese, but to him it's not. And that's why I really do love talking with Wally, and where he's coming from. And it's kind of like I think my dad said it. It's kind of like this: when you have an engineer and you have a manager, and you have a CEO, the engineer gets so deep into the weeds and into the stuff. We call it weeds. Into the stuff. It's hard for them to articulate it to the common people. Like the CEO who manages he has other gifts. I'm just a manager in between. I'm like trying to figure out what the hell's Wally saying. And I'm going, all right, Wall. All right, you got to help me because I'm not an engineer. And Wally knows this. And Wally and I, we're good together, and we hang out, we talk quite a bit. So, great stuff with Wally's pictures and the way he's seeing the world and how things work, and articulating that. The toroid. Boy, that's a hard concept, because I'm looking at it visually, and he's probably not speaking of it visually. He's probably speaking of it another way, and for me, it's hard to grasp. Yeah, I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer, but I have to be able to understand it so that I can articulate to other people. And we spend time. Wally and I do spend time. It's personally insulting every time. Wally's really good. And there's not just Wally. There's other people here that have, far out things. I risk talking with Wally because there is some things that I kind of agree with him on, and I can see it, and it just takes time to me to get up to his speed, and I don't think I'll ever get to his depth. He's an amazing. He's got an amazing mind. So I don't know why I'm talking to you like that about Wally, because you're pretty interesting to talk to. I enjoy our conversations. Yeah, right. But when you get proof, you change your beliefs. Yes, sir. It's the truth. Yeah. Because beliefs are just pieces, and somebody's taking those pieces and manipulating them. But anyway, got too deep into the weeds here. I saw some AK stuff happening on this morning. And as I'm looking into Cali, y'all saw the 5.1 yesterday. Yeah, I mean, the news was even saying, "Oh my God, the world's coming to an end." Mm-hmm. And was it, is World War III in that realm? I don't know. We need more evidence. Yeah, more evidence. Yeah, California's still shaking. They were shaking before the storm got here. Keep leaving it up to Brandon. I think it is. I know, right? Oh my God, what is his mind? Why does he want to go there? Because he's got no life left. And the consensus here in Cali, and this might scare a lot of you, it scares the hell out of me. Nancy Pelosi's nephew, Governor Newsom, he's going to be running for president. Yes, you heard it here. That's right. He's going to be running for president. They're going to dump the old man. And they're going to, the reason they have to dump him, they have to tell him no, is because they don't want cackling Kamala as president. She's just as dumb as the president. The president's infirm. He's old. He can't make decisions properly. So other people are making those decisions. And when you got too many chiefs in the hen house, yeah. And his ego is incredible. But come 24, you'll see. And you do not want Gavin Newsom as your president. He's destroyed California. You know. And, yeah. Crazy stuff. But why do we talk a little bit about that? Well, that's because it does matter here. It's the free world, right? Or is it? Not too sure. Yeah, too many chiefs, not enough Indians. It's a clone. Yeah, I've seen it. Lizard people. No, I think he'll pass away, unfortunately. See, Dub, I have the feeling that, bagging on Biden is elderly abuse. I think having him as president is elderly abuse. So the end of his term, the Democrats are not going to choose him. His term ends here, is it next year? Yeah, so they got another year. Hopefully, guy stays alive. Because they don't want cackling Kamala. They don't know what the hell she's going to do. And, yeah. Crazy. The thought of it. It's because Stone Cold says so. Yeah. They'll use it as a smoke screen, yeah, and they'll do what you're right there, Doug. And I'm not trying to promote one over the other at this minute. Don't know what's going on. We saw over the weekend, we saw Swami. I played a interview with Swami over the weekend. And as we're looking at California shaking just a little bit. And you saw one go live the other day, too. When we were watching yesterday. I said, look, and it went again. And I said, yeah, I've seen these plenty. But the Swami guy, I kind of, yeah, he's a businessman, but I have my reservations about him. I think maybe in a VP role, and where he can gain some experience, or I actually kind of like him more as that state, but he has no foreign experience other than his dad, and his dad's somebody that impacted his life, and I can appreciate that because my dad has too. But he needs foreign experience. Maybe he's an ambassador at first, and then goes to state, or maybe he's an assistant state representative, and then gain some experience at doing that, and then bring him in as the state. I think he needs that kind of experience. Super intelligent, though. Yeah. It, Canuck, you're from up there and you live up there. Uh, Tell me, did Trudeau's wife leave him? Because there's some reports saying he came out the closet and his wife left him. And I don't know because I'm not a Canadian. But why would he rip his family apart? And I don't think he. Are they going after him? And is he still? What do you call your guys up there? You know, is he still king up there? He got caught with Big Mike. Magic Mike? I don't know who Mike is. We need a man. What's going on? I don't know how to stop the bells from ringing because they still ring even. Yeah, they still ring even when I mute everything. So um, I don't know. I ain't messing with it because the bells disappeared and yeah. Oh, I'm Big Mike Michelle. Um, yeah, she left him. Oh, they have been cheating on each other for years. What a shame. What a terrible shame. I didn't know if it was real or not. I don't particularly like the man, but or I don't. Can you call him a man now? Um, I mean, he's got uh, different pronouns, right? Something like that. What do you call it? Call it an it? Um, I know he resembles a commie chucker. You know, I don't know. I gotta watch what I say because YouTube gets all wiggy wiggy. Hey, 675-309. Yeah, but well, here we are. Solar wind right now is 583. Density, proton density, is about 1. The Arctic aurora season begins. Earth has entered the stream of high speed 600 kilometers a second solar wind, sparking the first Arctic auroras of the season. Over there in Finland and Sweden, uh, show the green glow of geomatic activity mixed with twilight blue with fading midnight sun. The Arctic skies will be completely dark and will show. Will they begin? Yeah, maybe. Sunspot big enough to see from Mars. Wow. Yeah, that's what we did. This is from August 17th through the 20th. Uh, they have this thing on Mars, and they're looking back at the sun. Perseverance's image of the sun and the mast cam, the stereo mast camera, looking at the sun going, hey, there's some dots on the sun. Check these out here. All the sunspots are very stable. We got a new biggie coming at this, and I think that's the danger one. These ones here, eh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The 7th is coming around. It's been about 2 weeks since the last X. Yeah. I guess we can do that. Comet Nishimura and the Eskimo Nebula. Here's the Eskimo Nebula over here. Comet Nishimura. You can see it, I guess. Continues to fall into the solar system. August 19th, passed by the nebula. Bill Williams captured the conjunction just above the roof of his house in Florida. Yeah, you know. Mm-hmm. KP index is quiet. No, hey, has it been, what, a week and a half, 2 weeks? There's been no corona holes. This is really weird. No corona holes. And we're wondering what's going on Earth. Something's going wrong or going on in the solar system, in the galaxy, or something. Because the corona holes haven't existed. And yet we have solar wind, and that solar wind, I explained when it's happened before. Hey, 12 fireballs across North America yesterday. There's 2,349 potentially hazardous asteroids. But a FA is football field size or larger, wide, and it's traveling or coming into our view of on Earth here about 5% of the distance from the Earth toward the sun. And we measure that by lunar distances, and it'd be about 19 and a half, almost 20 distances would be the limit of what they determine, they being powers that be, who dictate our lives, would be. So 5% of that distance is roughly 19 and a half lunar distances, Earth to the moon. And so today being the 21st of August, there are two rocks. One's pretty good size, 69 times 3, multiply that, right? Here, I'll do it for you. About 207 foot across. That's a big rock. Yeah. Well, on the 23rd, jeez. On the 23rd, oh my gosh, there's a rock that's near quarter-mile wide. Yeah. It's traveling at 14.3 kilometers every second, but it's 16 lunar distances away from us. Whereas today, on the 21st, the 150-foot rock is about 8 lunar distances away, traveling about 18 kilometers every second. Now, the other one is 36 feet across, flying at, or traveling, it's moving at 6.5 kilometers every second. And it's real close to the other one. It's about 8 3/4 distances away from the Earth. So, distances being 384,401 kilometers for every distance. Yep. So, multiply that by the numbers I gave you, and you'll be all right. Geomatic storm probabilities, mid-latitudes 15%, high latitudes 15%. There's a 15% chance for an M flare, a 1% chance for an X. So they're not expecting anything from the sun. If we looked at LASCO over just yesterday, here's the longer distance. Just stuff oozing out. And here's the shorter distance, LASCO 2. Looks like something came at us, but yeah, something let loose. There it is again. Not a whole lot happening. The ground magnetics is quiet. Yeah, if I push go, you'll see. There's no auroras right now, but there's a little magnetism on the surface. That's what this is, generally on the surface. And I look for magnetics changes. That's why I appreciate Wally and what Wally said, because he talks a lot about magnetism and how it interacts with the planet. And he's educating me, education. I need one. That's why I enjoy my conversations with him. On the X-rays, there's none. We can look at the history of the X-rays, what's been going on. A couple of C's. There is a progression kind of rising up into the sea range. We had well, I guess that's a C8, man, C5, all the way up. Now we're about C3s, C2s. Doesn't look like we're having anything yet, but we can get surprised by that new one coming around the corner. She'll be coming around the mountain. More. Crete came in, said hello. There's a little banger. 3, maybe a 4. Mm-hmm. Double banger coming out of Crete. Tajikistan, Kabul. You can see Greece down here from Crete. And all said hello. But yeah. Volcanoes. Well, we can look at the tremors, right? Are there tremors in the Pacific Northwest? 77 of them is still up there in Silesia yesterday, and up in here, Northern Cal. The day before, same thing. And the day before that, nothing. Very, 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 very quiet. In the volcanoes, looking at Rainier. Looking to see if there's any noise out here. This is you see there's a little bit of noise out there, and you can see fallen rocks and the like. St. Helens. We'll look at just off the mountain, away from the, see if there's any vibrations happening away from the dome being rebuilt, because it's rebuilding itself. And you can see a little bit of noise. Not a lot, just a little bit. All right. So we'll stop it there. There's a bunch of fires out here. I mean, the fires are just insane. Look at all Canada. Well, that's global warming. Well, really? Almost every mountain and valley's on fire. Terrible, terrible things happening up there. People running for their lives. Yeah. I watched two of these homesteaders up there, and well, I don't think one's just a really wealthy person, and his lady, she builds things on their land, and the other one is a couple up in British Columbia. Both of them saw the fires, and both of them are very concerned. So I'm hoping and I pray that they're both safe and everybody else is safe. Our boy Canuck, he's got some family up there that they're having to evacuate as well, I've heard over the weekend. Yeah. I thought all this stuff burned last year. Why is it burning this year? Well, the prevailing theory is that they're following the faults or the rifts, the ancient rifts as well as the activated rifts of the planet. And if you drill down and take a look at some of this stuff, they don't know why spontaneous fires happen. Is it dry lightning? Well, lightning starts at the bottom, shoots up into the sky, right? Well, what if the rocks are like being pushed together so much so, and there's your dry lightning. You know, those are things that we can discuss, that we can, elaborate on and try to debunk or say, yeah, that's what's going on, or that's capable of going on. And then we say, okay, this is one subject that could happen. I don't even know what lightning is. It's plasma of some sort. But here in California, often they say, well, Some plants, when it's summertime, their idea, they just self-combust. They just light up and didn't have anybody do it. They just burst into flames. And they've always said that. But looking at it logically and looking at it from a scientific point of view, if we can establish it, or if it is established and somebody has an article or 2 articles that explain this, we can bring that together and we can present it saying, yeah, this is a possibility. And then we say, okay, right there. All right, could be. That's why we're looking at these things too. Now, my boy Canuck and Wally, he's on the same plane with Canuck, I think a little bit. These are our members are here. They're very, very activated here. They bring up a lot of these things. Is why do these things always happen along a rift or along a fault line? And there's no clouds, and it's pretty far back and it sticks. And like, why did that fire happen? So you have to kind of wonder, is that a possibility? I think so. And sometimes we found out that it was some firebug doing stuff. Sometimes we find out that it's electrical wires doing that. Sometimes it's gas coming out from the surface of the earth or underground and coming up, and the pressure of the rocks pushing together and heating up, and then they just decide just to move just a little bit because of the heat, and then pop, spark, boom, explosion, fire. But hopefully the wind and the rain will knock these things down and save people's lives. And then there's a lot of people, forest management. Well, you know what? Things have always burned. Always burned. Always. What happened when we didn't have human beings? So many of them in the sticks. They burned. And when they did, they grew back. Well, they're a resource. We better manage them. You can't manage them. It's impossible. All you can do is mitigate the damage. This idea, it'd bankrupt every country in the world who has forests to manage them. Look, California's a lot of desert, but a lot of trees. And up here, they're burning like crazy. Yeah. Oh, that's poor management. How the hell do you manage a forest? You have to let it burn. Mitigate the damage. But I think it's us putting fires out that create these problems. If it would have burned, it would have thinned. It would have burned all that underbrush. Then there's conspiracy. Conspiracy meaning things that are out of the norm thinking. Not that it's not happening, but that there's things up in our atmosphere that are, touching the things on the ground. And I'm not talking thunderstorms. I'm talking well beyond the thunderstorms. And, they bleep and they blop, and somebody pushes a button and suddenly there's a fire. There's that. That's a whole conspiracy nut thought process-y that we can explore. But to put it out there and say that's how it's happening, I think it's a little bit irresponsible. And it's not scientific. And, I'm not sure, and I think many people are not sure, how much control they have. Like fracking. Fracking creating earthquakes? Sure, it does. And they can create big ones. And they know how not to. And yet they still do it. So there are things that man does that creates problems. And so some of the ideas, we do have to entertain the ideas, out of the box. Why is that happening there? Why is this repetitive problem happening? Is somebody nefariously doing things? Well, what would be the reason by that? I mean, what's the gain? Like the Hawaiian thing, there's so much talk about, the rich coming in trying to take all that. And I said it too the very first day. I can just see the rich people are the ones that got all this money. Oh, this place burned down. Hey, we want that land. We want. And yet the community is saying fungu. Many people died. There's over 1,000 people missing in Hawaii? Most of them children. And I heard one report where the National Guard's come in not letting anybody in. There's nobody allowed in there. And the governor says, "Oh yeah, we're going to take this land. We're going to sell it. We're going to make sure that the big companies can't get it, but we're going to put a little park in there and put a couple plaques in there, and now we're going to remember these people." And yet, he's in the pocket of a special interest group. Yeah. See, the Hawaiian people have been taken advantage of for years. And if the Hawaiian people don't want outsiders in there, and yet the outsiders don't want them in there as well. Why? Because there's money to be made. They're going to build these people out, and some of them will rebuild, some won't. The ones that rebuild, we're going to pay higher taxes. What? Yeah. Because your house is worth more. There were hotels there that completely burned to the ground. They're old hotels, but completely burned to the ground. Apartment buildings completely burned to the ground. And yet the rich people's homes didn't. What happened there? And another conspiracy is that, just like the fires out here, that the houses were on fire, but the trees weren't. How does that happen? How does a house burn but not a tree? I don't know. My buddy says they're making giant fire breaks around Yellowknife, and I saw videos of this morning. It's supposed to be super hot and windy up there in the end of the week. Heat dome supposed to form over BC and end of the week too. So I think they're still going to be in big trouble. Absolutely. But I feel for all these people Canada is an amazingly beautiful country. Amazing. And I can't go there. And I found out, that I can't go there. But hey, I don't know if I want to. I can view it from afar, like a picture on the wall. But look at the fires all the way up into Quebec. Global warming. Look at all the hot spots down the central part of the United States. Interesting, huh? All the way down Houston's burning. Mongolian Rim in Arizona and New Mexico, Colorado, and Utah. There's a big circle burning there. And there's a couple of fires in Cali now. The plant fire and the almond fire. Some of these other dots here, these red dots, they're just where they have like rock pits and stuff. Where they're mining and stuff. Now these up here, big fires in Cali. Out in Colorado, I don't know what's going on here today. Oh, there it is. I don't know why it's running slow. Yeah, well, 144 hours. I'm probably gonna have to refresh it. Couple fires here in Colorado. Some down in New Mexico. And, yeah. I want to know where that one was, but hey. What else? Oh, we can look at volcanoes now. Whoop, yep. I know it's the wrong one. Sorry. Volcano news. Volcano discovery. August 21, 2023. Fuegos in the news. Popo, Reventador, Mayon, Ubinas, Nevada del Ruiz, and Pagana. Seems like they're always the ones in the news. Ubinas is puffing. Mayon, unknown. It's erupting, but still it's unknown. Nevada del Ruiz in Colombia to 20,000 is out of a 17. Fuego, 16,000 out of a 12.3. That's normal size. Ash going up in the sky. Popo has dissipated. All right. Reventador has dissipated. Sebencaya, 22 out of a 19. That's by Ubinas down there in Peru. Bagana volcano, 8,000 feet. We were watching that one on Friday too. And then Mayon in 9,000 puffer. Still in Philippines still. And that's it. So I've talked for an hour and a half, thereabouts, right? An hour and 17 minutes. I don't think I'm going to put this on YouTube, but you've been updated. You reported. I put the report out there for you. Is there anything else that needs to be said? There are other people out there that you all look at and follow. Across the United States here, because we're primarily United States, there's been a couple of earthquakes in Idaho. Call this southern Idaho. Man, it's not southern Idaho, it's central Idaho. I hate when they do that. We have a little banger here, 2.5 in Washington. Off the coast, we have a 2.9. And then up here in Walker. Finally, they're saying Walker. Can you believe that? Right? Here's Walker. And it's Colville. It's closer to Colville. Get it right. My God. First, they were saying it was this one up in here, Merkleyville. Interesting. If we did one day, still nothing new. We do see the San Andreas and the interior off of Calaveras Fault and moving up into the volcanoes where they do a lot of poo-poo burning. Up here, it's just small ones. So really not a whole lot. You see some activity coming across Nevada into Utah there. Some activity in the south. After the 5, I don't know. Does it look quieter to you? It kind of does. Still, we're watching for another, till Tuesday or Wednesday to see what happened with this one. Still looking for something here, right here, to go very big. Still looking for a mid quake to be right in here as well. And I'm still not certain that this is not over. 5.1. I don't think they've added any more on the origins. No, they didn't. 4.9 to a 5.5. When we saw it, yeah, it looked pretty good. So around the world, Ecuador popping over here, a 5.5. And then down here in Argentina, a 4.2. We saw over the weekend, we saw the Sandwich Islands pop at a 5.7. And that was like right around the same time that one. And Cali went. Fiji is, man, I know Fiji and Tonga constantly going. 4.9 and it's 503 deep, looking for a near 6. And if you look over the weekend, you look for the last week, I think there's probably 6 or 8 Fijis. A whole lot of activity in Fiji. Does that say something? I don't know. Put it in the comments. You know. Geo turtle power. That's hilarious. 5.2 Indonesia. You know, over there by Timor. And yeah. Here's another Timor at 4.5. Pretty strong 5.2. And nothing else. We seen up here Mongolia come off in the 4.4. And then over here Tajikistan, Afghanistan, the stands 4.8s. And India, Myanmar, 4.5. Without looking for yesterday or the last 7 days, you'll see that there has been a lot of activity moving up and over. Over here in Romania is a 4.2. Now, we were expecting that. And we'd have to look into the Norwegians to see what's going up there in Norway, in Finland, to see what's happening up there. And you'll see on these quakes, it's only in their language, so I don't speak it. But you'll see, 2.4s, Ukraine 2.7s, a couple of 1.49s, and small little quakes happening, 1.8s, right? Working their way through. And another area up this way, working their way through as well. Little 1.9s. If you don't have this, I'll go ahead and put this link in for you who like to have the links. I'm only one person. I can't do it all. So, yeah. I'm not, I'm not a god. What? You're not a god? And this is the history of the quakes been going on. You'll see. So the activity, ancient activity, right? 523, 927, 20, all in 22 as well. So you can see the historical quakes on this, and then you'll see the other ones over here, the ones that are happening now. Interesting, we got some activity going that direction, just north of Iceland. We see as well going that way, right into Svalbard. We don't get to see that whole lot. And using EMSC has been more work than a lot of times it's worth. So bringing to your attention the main quakes, which is on USGS. You still have to not forget about the Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico. Still constantly going. Across the midsection of the United States, Tennessee's popping with a couple of 2s. Oklahoma's still going. And then, of course, down in West Texas. Generally speaking, these are probably all, I don't know about for the Tennessee ones, but these are all probably oil drilling related. And, not saying it is, just it's probable. And it just so happened it is along a lineament or an ancient rift. And it's interesting to bring information into help decide what's going on. I don't think they're nefariously creating them. I think they're creating them. Another couple of dingers. Yeah. Looks like Africa's got some grumblings and Alaska's got some grumblings. But, yeah, I mean, in Canada, if we look at the earthquakes up here in Canada, there we go. You can see the orange ones are the more current ones. The yellow ones are more distant. Like this one here is from at August 1st. And then this one is from August 17th, a couple of days back. USGS didn't report that one. And a couple off the coast here, August 15th, right? Their activity that's happening, and it's not being reported because they don't choose to. Not bemoaning it, just it sucks. We like to have it all in one, but we have to use our tools and find out more information and then try to divine what's going on, don't we? 817, like this one here on 7/27 was a 4.4. And we zoom in, this one was a 5, I think. Yeah, 5.2 that happened on August 6th. So that was the closest on the West Coast. And then we just had right here a 3.0 off of, some would say a Bella Bella. It's more Port McNeil. And we're still looking for something to happen up in this region, all the way down to Bella Bella. It hasn't popped in some time yet. It's creaking and crawling. And it's interesting how the quakes come straight down this line, and then they go right through Vancouver, Silesia, and looky here. That's right, 3.1 in Idaho. The Walla Walla comes down this way. This is one a little bit north. I think if Canucks correct me, I think that's the one that goes up into Vancouver. Lineament I'm speaking of. There's these other lineaments, and they all seem to be joining down here. Crisscross, applesauce. So, you can make it for what it is, but to become conspiratorials, not what we want. We want to be able to say, hey, look, this is a plausibility. This is what we're watching. Even USGS talks about lineaments. It's not fake. They talk about all the geology. How earthquakes happen, how the world around us works is what we do here at JSL. It isn't just earthquakes. It's part of it's seismic, part of it's solar, part of it's all the different disciplines, weather, volcanic, global warming, global cooling. We're going to get into a lot of those type of things to balance the information that's out there, and it's not just one-sided. It's not just the oil companies creating everything. The problem is the oil companies work with geologists because they're looking for the oil. They have a lot of data, and they depend on the geologists to decipher that data. And it's Alaska, Yakutat. I was just up there just a minute ago saying, hey, something might happen up there. Been seeing some activity up in Alaska is why. Oklahoma just had a 2.3. You could south of Alaska, another 2.5. Things are happening. Is there a relationship between the different disciplines? I think so. I think taking part of hey, Cher Bear, nice to see you, girl. Taking a little bit the ideas that Kanug has to say, the ideas that Wally has to say, the ideas that Flutter Girl has to say, and the ideas that some of you all have to say, and bringing it together and presenting it in a way it's only this way doesn't happen. This is a possible way. This is possible. This could be happening. And doesn't mean it happens all the time that way. It can happen another way at another time. So to be dogmatic about one way all the time, I think shows ignorance. And I think we have to discipline, we have to balance ourselves, and we're either after the truth or we're not. It's not a that's why I love Professor Nick. I love the teachings that he does. I want to learn. I'm a learner, and I'm willing to entertain a lot of different ideas. And sometimes I just don't see something, and it's not that it's not true. It's just I'm ignorant in that area. Ignorance is not a sin. It's not a bad thing. It just means you just don't know. And to be convinced, sometimes it takes a long time to convince, because you got to get up to speed. You can't speak Chinese, learn Chinese until you learn how to write Chinese and the culture and the like. So it takes time. There's a skill set that needs to happen. And I appreciate every single one of you and what you contribute here. And it's not by the power of Grayskull. It's about us together doing what we do. Appreciate you all. Thanks for listening to me pontificate. We'll be watching what's happening. These are the fires right now that are happening across the world, or North America anyway. Again, it's kind of an odd time period. The sunspots are low. They're not real aggressive. There's no corona holes to create all that wind, yet we're catching a lot of wind. There's a bunch of fires. It's summertime in the north and winter in the south. Although we are getting shorter days up here in the north, in northern hemisphere anyway. Here we are, August 23rd. It should be, in my area, which is going to get, oh my God, the big heat out here in the COD. Look at all that. Oh yeah, that's summertime, baby, right there. Monsoonals are working through AZ right now, and that storm, there's one low pressure that's been there. It was sucked out, then it came back, staying right above San Francisco, and that other storm is blowing way out now. So fast mover, yeah, steady Eddie. I don't see another one happening right now. There's some stuff happening on the East Coast. We'll be monitoring those things. Some rotations starting there in the Gulf. And I bet you we do get a Cat 1 at least, and it's going to wallop Texas and Louisiana. So hang on. Have a plan for an event. Think about where you're going to go and what you're going to do if you have to go. Get a bunch of water. Water's going to be like gold. And have a plan. Take your personal effects. That's all electronic based. Print it out. You don't have to have your passwords and nothing like that. Print it out from the website, your bank statements that you paid your bills, and that you're up to date. There's a lot of shit that's happening out there. Protect yourself. CYB, baby. And remember, as I've told everybody else, don't get none on you. Love you. I'm Joe, and I'm out.